Welcome everyone. Oh, this is a house full today. Level 3 plus level 4. You can also occupy the balcony seats behind if more people come. So yes, we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and we dedicate this presentation to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
It's for sure by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. At least
We know the different stages of bhakti. You all remember last Saturday we discussed different stages of bhakti. What is the qualification to get on the first stage? What is the criteria? Unflinching faith in scriptures. And second?
Theoretical conviction that Krishna is the
At least theoretical conviction that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To understand this, at least theoretically, Srila Prabhupada has left no room for doubts. He has clarified and made it very crystal clear in his Bhaktivedanta purports of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam that how Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you see, when it comes to devotees practicing in ISKCON, it's not based on sentiment. We don't support much sentimental bhakti. Because initially it is remaining it's sentiment and later it becomes mental. Yes? So sentimental. And there's no point. Because after some time we have seen such people, they give up devotional service. Something happens in life, give up devotional service. Till the point there is no philosophical backing to our practice, that practice does not have much, what to say, it will not sustain for long. It will not sustain for long. Therefore, today's topic is also very, very important and a very philosophical topic. Divine worship
versus mundane worship. And we're going to discuss a lot of things regarding various aspects of worshipping the Supreme
Personality of Godhead and worshipping the various other Devi Devtas who are present. Okay, let's begin. I was very astonished, that how Sanatan Dharma was throughout the world. Throughout the whole world. Now I'm going to display some photos which will be very, very astonishing for you all also. It is eternal Dharma and it was accepted by everyone. I'm going to show you photos from Japan. So even today, there are so many personalities in Japan who worship Devi Devtas. The names are different, but through the forms we can get to know that they are the personalities whom we call so and so Devta. Starting with Lord Vishnu.
So this is the name. I don't know how to pronounce, but आप लोग कर लीजिए मन में pronounce. Yes.
So this is Lord Vishnu, and I was reading about how they worship, means what they consider Lord Vishnu is this name, a very powerful personality who rides on this bird, basically the Garuda. I think from K they call some Garuda's name also very complicated. Lord Shiva.
Dai Ko Ku Ten. Yes. Lord Brahma. This is little simple. Born 10. God is Lakshmi. And look at this, Lord Ganesh. At least other forms, they're a little bit this one, but look at Lord Ganesh. In front of Fukuoka Tower. And then the Kuvera. He is known as Bhishman. Vishwakarma. And they also have these all other personalities. Agni Dev, Yamaraj, Varun Dev. Goddess Saraswati. So they also worship this form of Saraswati for learning. Lord Indra. See, it's a very important thing to note that not just in one place, there are deities of various personalities throughout the whole world.
I was telling one of the class that how, I don't know which year it was, but then there are temples discovered in Russia. In Indonesia, we have so many temples like that. So many Shiva temples, Vishnu temples, they are discovered in so many different places throughout the whole world. So it's not that Sanatana Dharma is just there in the tract of India. I was shocked to see how Egypt personalities were there, past Egypt personalities. They, if you see those photos of the past, whatever they put tilak. They have tilak, and that tilak matches with Sri Vaishnav tilak. Can you imagine that? Sri Vaishnav tilak. So this is how great, rich and wonderful our Sanatana Dharma is. Accepted all around the world. But now what to do? Now demons are there everywhere, so what can we do? Even in India for that matter, slowly and steadily, there are different parts of the country, different states, which are getting converted to atheistic or getting converted to some other faith. So naturally what happens? People ask, how is it that in different parts of the world this worship is stopped now? Very simple. You see in India only. There are so many different places where conversions are happening. They stop. They stop worshipping. So like that, it was there everywhere, but unfortunately, gone. Yes? So anyways, this is not the topic for today, but then I wanted to tell that these are not imaginary personalities. They are Shastric personalities, and all of them they have relevance in our day-to-day life. So let's begin with something very solid. Tattva
Or truth. There are three, at least three. We have one more also.
Tattva. First, Ishvara Tattva.
Or you can also call it Siddhanta also. Ishvara Tattva. So you see, Lord Krishna and his various
incarnations, they all come in this category of Ishvara Tattva. Means controller, the supreme controller. And then the potencies of the Lord, the Shaktis of the Lord, they come in the second category called Shakti Tattva. Any Shaktis you want to name? Durga, yes. Kali, even Lakshmi, Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess Saraswati, all of them, they come under Shakti Tattva. Jiva Tattva. So all of us, we come under Jiva Tattva. To be more specific, I would like to mention that there are two Shaktis basically. Antaranga Shakti and Bahiranga Shakti. Internal potency and external potency of the Lord. External potency is this external energy of the Lord, this material world. And Durga is the one who takes care of this material world. God is Durga. And when it comes to the internal potency, it is Srimati Radharani, goddess of fortune and her expansions. That is in the spiritual world. So in this way we understand that how Shakti Tattva and the Ishvara Tattva. Hare Krishna. You can keep it on the stairs then. Shakti Tattva and the Ishvara Tattva, they are very important. Now Jiva Tattva are also not less. We are Jiva Tattvas. We belong to Jiva Tattva. Another very important thing to note is all the 33 crore Devi Devta, they come under Jiva Tattva. I hope this is clear. All 33 crore Devi Devta also come under Jiva Tattva. So we shouldn't be confused. And also another thing to note is all the 33 crore Devi Devtas, the names which are there, which we just saw, they are all positions and not personalities. Yes? So we know about Surya Dev. So Surya is a position which is acquired by a personality called Vivaswan. Brahma is a position. Indra is a position. So like this, there are different positions which are there. And since they are also Jiva Tattva, so it is described that they are Jivatmas like us, but then they are much better than us in their qualification, in their spiritual qualification. Very powerful. So it is described that even a normal entity, normal living entity like us, who belong to Jiva Tattva, can also take the position of Indra, Vayu, Brahma, etc. Who all would like to take the position of Indra? Maza aa jayega, keh raha hu. Heavenly planet. Rambha, Urvashi, Menaka, everyone. Somras ke saath. It is described anyone who does 100 Ashwamedha Yajna is qualified to become Indra. Qualified. अगर भक्ति अच्छे से नहीं करेंगे, you will end up becoming some devta somewhere, and again fall down to the material world, because they also have a life cycle. You see, Brahma also has a life cycle. How long Brahma lives? 100 years, but which 100 years? हाँ, तो वो किया तो था पूरा कैलकुलेशन. How many years?
313 trillion.
311 trillion 40 billion years. Yes, they also have. So that is their life cycle. So in this way, they are Jiva Tattva and it's a position and not the personality. And I always give the example of Prime Minister. So currently Modi has acquired the position, but he's called as Prime Minister. Right? So person and the position. Hope this is clear, everyone? Let's move on to the next one. Our dependence on demigods. So this we have to understand clearly that we are very much dependent on the Devi Devatas. Our different parts of the body are controlled by Devi Devatas. Like for example,
look at this. Our voice is controlled by Agni. Our hands are controlled by Indra. Our anus is controlled by Mitra. Mind is controlled by moon god. You see, these especially
people who have some psychological issues, especially on full moon day or new moon day, Amavasya and Purnima, their behavior will be wild, completely different. Yes?
So before marriage, when you go to see a girl, you see on Amavasya or Purnima.
You can at least verify. Normal hai ki nahi.
On a serious note, this you can verify also. Yes? Full moon day and new moon day, the behavior
is different. Intelligence, Brahma is controlling. Even genitals, Brahma controls. False ego, Lord Shiva is controlling. Skin,
the sense of touch, a devata called Anila is controlling. Hair, Osadhya is controlling. Like this, we have
33 crore Devi Devata controlling various different parts of our body, including blink, blinking also. Yes, controlled by a Devata called Nimi. So in this way, we understand that how all the Devi Devatas, they are involved in assisting us to take care of this body. Is that clear, everyone? So we all are indebted to each and every Devi Devata. 33 crore, all of them. But we are so ungrateful that we don't remember all of them. पहले 30 crore के तो नाम ही पता नहीं है. और अगर थोड़े बहुत पता भी तो उसमें choose कर लेते 4-5. And then we'll keep them in the altar and then worship. आई पूछेंगे क्यों? Then you'll have some reason also to give. मुझे पैसा चाहिए तो लक्ष्मी देवी है. मुझे विद्या चाहिए तो सरस्वती देवी है. Now to remove the obstacles, I need Ganpati also. Yes. Lord Shiva सब लोग बोलते तो हमको भी रख लेते हैं. But I don't see people worshipping Vayu Dev, Varun Dev. Why? Surya Dev, at least some people I see offering water. But then what about these personalities? Indra Dev, बारिश तो होगी नहीं फिर. If he decides no बारिश in Bangalore, टैंकर भी नहीं मंगवा सकते फिर तो. Yes, पानी खत्म. So can you imagine how much we are dependent on these different personalities? Very much dependent. But still we don't express our gratitude to them. But it is described that the devotee of Lord Shri Krishna, he expresses his gratitude to all these different Devi Devatas by worshipping the Lord himself, Lord Shri Krishna. You remember in the retreat, we saw Bharat Maharaj pastime. So Bharat Maharaj, when in this third life, Jad Bharat, so when he was about to be killed by a dacoit in front of Kali, Kali saved him. And Kali killed her own devotees. So this goes on to say that how Devi Devatas are satisfied, completely satisfied with their own, with the worship of Lord Shri Krishna, and how they want to protect the devotee of the Lord, protect the devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. So in this way you understand that how Devi Devatas are very eager to protect the devotees of Lord Shri Krishna, because they are very satisfied with their worship to Lord. So this is a very important way how we can satisfy all of them. Otherwise, picking and choosing one of them here and there, it's not a proper way. It's not a proper thing also. And today afternoon we had a very intense discussion. By the way, tomorrow morning we have a special class at 7:30 by His Grace Vidwan Gaurang Prabhu. He's a great scholar. In 6 months he finished all the Prabhupada books. And now he's writing elaborate commentary on Ramayana. Like we have Bhagavatam, verse, word by word, translation, purport. He's writing that. And a great scholar. Very great scholar. So he's there in our center. He's going to take a course for us called Bhakti Vaibhav. which starts from Monday. For us, you don't come. It's on Srimad Bhagavatam intense course that is. So he agreed to give a class tomorrow, and the topic is Sharanagati, 6 symptoms of surrender. Very, very technical topic. So 7:30 to 9. Please be there. So he was sharing a very nice thing. So tomorrow, whatever concepts we'll learn about surrender, he was saying that when it comes to demigod worship also, Devta worship also, these 6 symptoms of surrenders are needed. People just say like that, no, I am devotee of so and so Devta. But it's not so easy. Like for example, he gave an example of one devotee of Ganapati, South India, Tamil Nadu, one lady. So the mood of the demigod worshipper, which is expected, is I will do whatever the Devta likes. I'll not do anything which the Devta does not like. I'll be convinced that the Devta will take care of me. I'll be convinced that he will maintain me. I'll be convinced of the fact of his greatness, and I'll maintain my humility. These are 6 symptoms of surrender basically. And it's described that lady, when she was, when she became young and then she attained puberty and she was about to get married. So her love for Ganpati was so great, it is described that she did not want to get married only. On the day of marriage, she was crying in front of Lord Ganesha that I don't want to get, this is a disturbance in my life. Do something. And her devotion was so great that Lord Ganpati, he appears and then he says, why you're getting troubled? Because of your beauty, right? So I'll take away that. I'll make you 80-year-old lady. And immediately her beauty was removed. 80-year-old lady she was made. And guess what? She remained 80 years for a long, long time. And she continued her worship. इसको कहते हैं भक्ति towards देवता. ऐसे नहीं कि घंटी बजाया और लिस्ट खोल के चपड़ यस 2 नारियल फोड़ा एक खुद के सिर पे एक दूसरे के सिर पे and then you're done. No, that's not devta worship. Nowadays people make fun of all this. सारे देवतास को एक ऑल्टर में डाल दिया, कभी बंद मन किया तभी खोला, दिया लगाया, बंद किया जब मन किया. Yes. So where is the question of worship? समझ रहे कि नहीं? There's a procedure to worship. It's not time pass. Therefore, it is described. नहीं पता then why getting into all this? Learn the procedure to worship Lord Shri Krishna in the age of Kali by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. कितना simple है. Yes. Chant the holy names, offer flowers to the Lord, and whatever little procedure which is there, offer bhoga to the Lord. The Lord is satisfied. He gives you prasad, you are satisfied. And we come in association devotees like this and discuss Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. That's nourishing. And Lord is satisfied, all the Devi Devtas are satisfied, what else we need? Therefore it is described. Last session also I said this. Taror eva moola nisechanena tripyanti tat skanda bhujopashakaha pranopahara shetandriyanam tathaiva sarvar hanamachutejya. It is said that when you want to water a tree, huge banyan tree, so what you'll do, you'll take a bucket of water and then you'll start sprinkling on each and every leaf. ऐसे ही तो करते हैं, ऐसे नहीं करते. No, I saw some people who go on the branch, sit and then slowly one leaf. No? What do we do? Root. Taror eva moola. Moola nisechanena. We water the root. And when we water the root, so root takes up all the water. And all the branches and leaves and flowers and fruits, they all dry up. Correct? They all dry up because the root is drinking the water, so all the branches will dry up. They all flourish. Taror eva moola nisechanena tripyanti. Satisfied. Who are satisfied? Tripyanti tat skanda bhuja upashakaha. All the branches and sub-branches and all the things which are connected to these branches and sub-branches, all of them are satisfied. Tripyanti. Second example that is given in Shastra. I am quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam. Prana upaharascha yatindriyanam. Now someday, when you come here and then say you get vessel washing service, a lot of vessels are there. With these 2 hands you're washing vessel, and then your hands are tired. And then you decide that, okay, they're so tired, I should feed them something. And then you put sweet rice on every finger. Yes, and then you put sweet rice everywhere on your body. Yes, on the hands. Is it? Prana upaharas chetandriyanam. So where do you put the food? It goes to the stomach. And when it goes to the stomach, automatically what happens? Entire body gets nourished. Look at the example, so beautiful. No one can deny these examples. Yeah. Similarly, it is said, Tathaiva. Similarly, Sarvarahanam Achyuteja. If someone worships Achyuta, Lord Sri Krishna, all the other personalities in the entire universe are satisfied. Right? So this is what is the concept of worship of Devi Devatas. Now let's go more deeper. Now we're going to go technical to understand how people worship the Lord and how people worship the Devi Devatas. Firstly, the relationship of Lord Krishna and the demigods. Let's discuss about this. We'll chant the shloka.
Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stuvanti Divyahai Stavair. यही चैंट कर रहे हैं ना हम लोग वेद हि संग पद क्रमोपनिषदैर गायन्ति यम सामगाः ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यम योगिनो यस्यांतं न विदुः सुरासुरगण देवाय तस्मै नमः. Someone read the translation.
So the Goswami said, and onto the personality, Lord Krishna, Vasudev, whom Brahma, Varun, Indra, Rudra, and the Marut praise by chanting transcendental hymns and reciting the Vedas with all their corollaries, Padkarmas, and Upanishads, to whom the chanter of the Samaved always sings, whom the perfected yogis see within their minds after fixing themselves in trance and becoming fully absorbed in thoughts of him, and whose limit can never be found by any demigod or demon, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, I offer my humble obeisance.
So here
It is described all these different personalities, all these different Devi Devatas. What they do? They worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They pay their obeisances. They chant Uttama Shloka, the best of the best verses from various scriptures to glorify the Lord. So very nice. Even other shloka is there which says, Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam jagatam ishware lokah sapala hi etasmai balantim balantim haranti adrishah. So it is said that all the Devi Devatas, they understand. What they understand? They understand that once the Lord is satisfied, Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam, everyone is satisfied. So understanding this, what are they doing? Balim haranti. They are offering gifts to the Lord, they are offering obeisances to the Lord. So in this way we understand that how all the great personalities, they are offering their obeisances, their respects to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now, normally people say, sab ek hi hai, all are equal. It's almost equivalent to saying Prime Minister, Chief Minister, MLA, sab ek hi hai. All these different personalities, Devatas who are there, they have their own post and position. They have their portfolios. So we cannot equate, this is what something which we need to understand. We cannot equate. They are empowered by the Lord to execute certain tasks to maintain this entire universe. Right? So there is no question of being equal. This is something which we need to understand. They are always subordinate to the Lord and they are very happy serving the Lord in whatever position they have been assigned to. They are happy, they are blissful. Therefore they continue serving. In Mahabharata, when Vyasadeva, when he was dictating Mahabharata, who was writing? Ganapati is writing. That too, he broke his tusk and he was writing. And he told, if you stop, I will also stop and I will go. So Vyasadeva's task was continuously speak. He spoke. He spoke the entire Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that there is no one above me. What is the shloka? Not remembering.
Matta
Matta parataram nanyat. There is no one above me. Aham sarvasya prabhava. Everything comes from me. But then, if Ganpati had some issue, wait a minute, doubt. Doubt. He didn't say that. He accepted, he wrote. Why? Because all of them, they know very well who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how they are supposed to serve the Lord. And everyone is happy serving. Problem is here with us who don't understand the superiority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes? And there is Shvetashvatara Upanishad.
This is very nice shloka again. Tamishwaranam paramam maheshwaram tam devatanam paramam cha devatam patim patinam paramam parastad vidama devam bhuvanesh medium. Read.
The Supreme Lord is the control of all other controllers and is the greatest leader of all the diverse planetary leaders. Everyone is under his control. All entities are invested with particular power only by the Supreme Lord. They are not supreme themselves. He is also worshipable by all demigods and is the supreme director of all directors. Therefore, he is beyond all kind of material leaders and controllers and is worshipable by all. There is no greater than him and he is the supreme cause of all causes.
So all entities
These are invested with particular power only by the Supreme Lord. They are not supreme by themselves. So whatever power they have is by the mercy of the Lord. I remember this incident from Ramayana. So Ravan was getting defeated. And Parvati is telling Lord Shiva that, oh Lord, your devotee is getting defeated. Do something. And Lord is saying, Marne do, abhi kya kar sakte? So there Lord Shiva is telling, how can I do anything now? He is fighting with my Lord. He is fighting with my Lord. How can he be saved? He has to die. See? Yes. And when Hiranyakashipu, you all know Hiranyakashipu? So when Hiranyakashipu was killed by Narasimhadev, and after that Brahma came, Shiva came, and all the Devatas came, all of them were offering prayers to trying to pacify. At that time, Brahma is offering prayer. And one of our Acharya, he says that Narasimhadev said, "Phir se aisi galti mat karna." Because he was not to give boon, right? To Hiranyakashipu, that you will not die in the sky or earth or this and that. And out of fear, because he was the culprit, so out of fear, Brahma was standing very far and offering prayer. Please be satisfied. Just imagine. Hiranyakashipu का body फेंक के ब्रह्मा को लिया Yes. So Brahma was standing far. So like this, all the Devatas were offering prayers. So if you all want, you can read 7th canto, chapter number 8. All the Devatas are offering prayers to Narasimhadev to pacify him. So in this way we see that all these Devatas, they are empowered by the Lord. They don't have their own power. And in Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna is saying this.
Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas Tasya Radhanam Ihate Labhate cha Tata Kaman Mayaiva Bhitan Hitan. Where is the speaker? Keep it up. Maybe it is not getting the range. थोड़ा ऊपर रख दीजिए. हाँ, yes. बोलिए, पढ़िए इसको.
Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desire. But in actually, these benefits are bestowed by me alone.
So Krishna is saying in 7th
Chapter 722, in 721, Krishna is saying that any living entity, any human being who gets a desire to worship a particular devata, Krishna is saying, I give him faith to worship the devata. And then in this shloka he is saying that endowed with such faith, which faith? Which I give. he endeavors to worship a particular devata and obtains his desires, whatever desires he has. But now here there's a very important point. So how his desires are getting fulfilled? So devata is fulfilling the desires, but here Krishna is saying that, but in actuality these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Through the devata, I am fulfilling all the desires of the worshipper. So in this way we see that how the devatas are empowered by the Lord. They don't have their own powers. This has to be understood very clearly. Yes. Now another very important thing to understand the supremacy of the Lord is how the demigods, they run to the Supreme Lord for help. Like for example, do you have some examples?
विष्णु पुराण
No, in which Leela? Which pastime?
लीला में सब लोग जाते हैं भगवान
Which Leela?
कंस को मारने
अरे उसको कृष्ण लीला कहते हैं, कंस लीला. My God. Yes, so when this Kans and Shishupal and all of them, they were creating ruckus in the entire world. So at that time, all the Devi Devatas, they go to Shir Sagar and they're offering prayers that, "O Lord, please help."
And who all were there while offering prayers? Brahma is offering prayer, Lord Shiva is there offering prayers. All the other Devi Devatas, including Mother Earth personified, all of them are offering prayers. And they're saying that please come, please help. And
Lord will not appear also in front of them. Only He'll inspire Brahma what they're supposed to do. And then He'll tell Brahma that all of you appear in different places as my relatives, and then I'll appear. So that's how. So all these different Devi Devatas, they appeared as Yadus, Yadavas. And then finally after that Lord comes and then He appears in this dynasty. And He appears in the jail and then rest, you know. So in this way we understand that how Devi Devatas, they go for their protection, they go to the Lord. Even you remember the Bhasmasura pastime that we had heard? Lord Shiva gives the boon to a demon. What was the boon? If I keep my hand on anyone, the head should burst. And then when he got that boon from Lord Shiva, he started running behind Lord Shiva to burst his head. He wanted to kill Lord Shiva. Why he wanted to kill Lord Shiva? Because he had an eye on his wife, Uma or Parvati. These are demons. जिसको worship किया, उसी के पत्नी को kidnap करना चाहता है. Can you imagine how horrible these personalities are? And then what happened after that? Lord Shiva is running for his life. And then a Brahmana boy comes, who is none other than Lord Vishnu. And then he tricks him saying, "Arey, why are you running so much? See, look here, your body is getting tired. This body is meant for sense gratification. You should take care of this body nicely." He says, "Okay, what am I supposed to do?" So, since he was a Brahmana, whatever Brahmana says, they will believe. So he said, the Brahmana boy, he said, "Why are you running so much? If you really want to test the power, you keep on your head and test. I'm sure it will not work." He kept the hand on himself. His head bursted. So in this way we see that how Lord comes for the rescue of all the personalities, all the Devi Devatas. Yes. Now let's discuss in more detail how worship of the Lord and how the worship of Devatas is done. Okay.
here Krishna is saying in 9th chapter, Ye pe anya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha tepi mam eva kaunteya yajantya avidhi purvakam.
Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, Bhagwan Bhakti, but they do so in a wrong way.
See the translation.
Sanskrit. Ye api anya devata bhakta. Anya devata bhakta. Yajante shraddhayanvitaha. They are worshipping him with faith. Te api mam eva kaunteya. Whom are they actually worshipping? They are indirectly worshipping me. But yajanti, they are worshipping, but avidhi purvakam. Not in the right way. It's an improper way. So let's try to understand this now, through various pointers. The first point is that demigods will give
what the worshipper wants. So in the Vedic scripture it is described that if you want so
and so thing, you go to so and so devata. For example, if you want to cure your disease, worship Surya Dev. If you want a beautiful wife, you want? No, huh? No. So you want a beautiful wife, you have to worship Lord Shiva. And then if you want education, Saraswati. So like this, various descriptions are given. Now here a very important thing we have to understand is, such facilities are given in the Vedic scriptures. For what? For less intelligent people who don't understand what is permanent and what is temporary. Who are completely bound in this material world. मुझे ये भी चाहिए, मुझे वो भी चाहिए, I want to enjoy in this world, I want to settle in this world, etc., etc., etc. For them this is given. Because the ones who are materially motivated, there should be some vent for them also, right? There should be some place where they can go and beg. So, this particular worship is very much there. But when it comes to an intelligent person, he'll go to Lord Krishna. So here it is described, when you do a particular procedure, a devata has to give you whatever you are asking for. Because there are various procedures given. If you want, some, you see some females, they do Sola Somvar ka Vrat. Have you seen that? Have you heard about that? So they do it for what? To get a good husband. Yes? So they do it, they will get, if they do it in a proper procedure. Because devatas are obliged to grant whatever the worshipper is asking if the procedure is followed properly. But when it comes to Krishna, do whatever you want. He will give if it is proper for you. Yes. कितना भी मेहनत कर लो, कुछ भी कर लो, be upside down, whatever you want to do. If Krishna feels like my devotee, he will be benefited by this particular boon, what he is asking for, I will give. There's a very nice shloka which says, Satyam dashatya arthitam arthito nrinam naivarthito yat punararthito yatah. So Lord is saying that when my devotee comes and then he is asking for something, and if I feel that that desire will lead to another material desire and next, I will not grant that desire. But then he says, Naivarthito yat punararthito yatah Swayam vidatte bhajatam anichchatam ichhapidanam nijapada pallavam. He says that okay, my devotee, he is asking for something material. I will not grant that because that will give rise to another material thing. But since he has come to me, I will give my own lotus feet to him. I will give my own bhakti to him. This is the mood of the Lord. Yes. Because the Lord is interested to take us back, home back to Godhead and not make us settle in this world. But abhi aisa question hai ki Lord does not fulfill any material desire. We'll see that. Don't worry. लोग सोच रहे बाप रे गलत जगह पे आ गया मैं FOE 1 में तो बताया नहीं अभी FOE 3-4 में बता रहे फंसा लिए ये लोग टकलू Yes. So here the Devi Devata they compared to the shopkeepers. You see, there are some sweets kept, a lot of flies are there on that. A small child comes. Now, the child gives money. Shopkeeper will give sweets. Will the shopkeeper think, नहीं इस पे तो मक्खी बैठे थे, पता नहीं इसका सेहत खराब हो जाएगा, this and that. No. He'll just give. पैसे लो, sweets दो. Yes. But when it comes to one's own parent, and the parents see that okay, they have kept some sweets on the table and a lot of mosquitoes or a lot of flies are sitting or whatever, and say the kid is crying, I want sweets, the parent will not give. Right? That is the difference between Devata and the Lord. Devata is like, okay, you have done this procedure, okay, take it. And when it comes to the Lord, you cry as much as you want. If he feels that it is not good for you, he will not give. This is the first thing. That is, demigods will give what you want, but Krishna gives what you need. If you want, you can note down. This is the first point. We are discussing this topic. Worship of Lord Krishna versus worship of demigods. The first point is, demigods will give what you want, and Krishna will give what you need. First point. Second.
Now the question that is there. If demigod worship is ultimately futile, what do you mean by futile? Waste nahi bol sakta. It's like
something like that. No use and then which is temporary.
Why do most people still worship demigods then? Okay.
They have not come to festival of enlightenment. They are not enlightened people. What else?
instant results.
Quick. They want
quick material benefits. They want quick material benefits. That's a very
important thing to note. The Devatas give whatever the worshippers ask for, irrespective of good or bad. Tell me some examples now.
Lord Brahma.
Huh? What he gave?
Many a times he gave boons to Asuras, which again they wanted to conquer the entire universe.
Correct. And one of the examples is Hiranyakashipu. He was doing so much of tapasya, and then Brahma gave him the boon what he was asking for. Any other example? Bhasmasur. Bhasmasur's example is very nice. He was about to cut his head and put it in the Yagya Kund to please Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was forced to appear there. No, people will call me murderer if you do this. Wait, you're doing it for me. What do you want? And then he asked for that boon that jiske sar pe haath rakhu, uska sar bhasma ho jaye. So Bhasmasur. Who else? Ravan. He was worshipping whom? Shiva. He was also doing this. He was cutting his head and he was putting in the Yagya Kund. When the last head was about to cut, at that time Lord Shiva appears and gives the boon, by which he becomes very strong. Right? So in this way, what happens? These all different personalities who are there. All these demons, they worship Devatas. Devatas know very well that, if I give, this is what is going to happen. But still they give because they are obliged to give. They don't think it's good or bad, they just give because they are obliged to give. Right? But then when it comes to the Lord, Krishna will not give anything that is harmful to devotee spiritual life. Never. He gives whatever is really the best. Now it's a very important thing to note. In the next we'll discuss, Hiranyakashipu reduction will be discussed. Therefore, an intelligent person is the one who will make sure that he worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead and gets a permanent result. That is, what is the permanent result? Going back home back to Godhead. Yes, that's what is expected. Going back home back to Godhead. Therefore, this worship that is there, worship of demigods, is for those people who want quick material benefits, who are in ignorance, who don't know what is the ultimate goal of life, who just want to settle in this world and who keeps telling that I want to stabilize in this world, I want to get rid of problems of this world, etc., etc., etc. For such people. But people who are intelligent, they will aspire for something higher and permanent and ultimate. Right? Now next question that is there is,
does Krishna award material benefits to his devotees?
Yes.
no. How many of you say no?
Such benefits which could help the devotee
Okay, to help the devotee.
propagate to the spiritual path.
Okay,
To test the devotee, we also give material.
okay. So yes, see, Lord gives material benefits. अभी देखिए, अगर if Lord does not fulfill material desires of his devotees completely, तो दुकान बंद हो जाएगी. कोई नहीं आएगा फिर तो, हैं? So when it comes to the Lord, he fulfills the material desires also. Like for example,
Can you tell me which pastime is this? If at all you have. Jai, you all know, huh? Hari bol, past life sannyasis. Sadhus. Dhruv Maharaj pastime. Dhruv Maharaj, he wanted.
in level 4 we'll have one class on this, Dhruv Maharaj achievements. He was just 5 years old and he was so stubborn that he wanted kingdom greater than his great grandfather Brahma. And he went to forest. 6 months of intense tapasya, intense. Initially he was having dry leaves which were falling down. After that only water. After that only air, and he stopped air also. And the Lord was forced to come there. And he appeared. Lord appeared by his own sweet will. But now what happened is, when Lord appeared in front of Dhruv Maharaj, and when it was asked to Dhruv Maharaj, that tell me what you want. देखिए भगवान को सब पता है, ठीक है? But ये भगवान का style है. He'll appear and then he'll ask, tell me what you want. अभी बेचारा ध्रुवा, you know what he says? Please repeat. स्थानाभिलाषी तपसी स्थितोऽहम्. त्वां प्राप्तवान् देव मुनीन्द्र गुह्यम्. Kachan vichinvannapi divyaratnam Swamin kritharthosmi varam nayache. So here, Dhruv Maharaj is telling the Lord, hear this carefully. He says, Thana Bilashi tapasi stitoam. All the tapasya that I was doing, O Lord, was to get a sthana, kingdom greater than my own great grandfather Brahma. But Tvam Praptavan Deva Munindra Guyam, but now I have attained you, who is rare to be attained even by rishis and devatas. O Lord, now I am realizing. Kachan vichinvan apidivya ratnam. I was actually searching for broken pieces of glass. But now I have got Divya Ratna in front of me. And then he says, the Lord is asking, oh Saptike, what do you want? Swamin Kritharthosmi, oh Lord, I am fully satisfied. Varam Nayacha, I don't want anything. Bichare ne itna mehnat kiya, and then I don't want anything. Yes. See what Lord does. But then did Dhruva Maharaj get the kingdom greater than his own great grandfather Brahma or not?
Yes.
He got Dhruv Lok. He got. So Lord gave him. But then how did Lord give the material benefit to him? After purifying his heart. Yes? He was completely purified and then the material benefit was given to him. And when he got the material benefit, he was lamenting. What sort of person I am? Lord was there in front and I asked for a material boon. What sort of, and he was lamenting like anything. What a devotee, what sort of devotee I am, I'm good for nothing. This, you should see the lamentation part where Dhruva Maharaj is lamenting. What sort of person I am. Yes. Now here in one place he gave. Tell me another place where he gives. Sudama. Jai, mere PPT dekhe aapne.
Sudama. You see, Sudama also.
Sudama didn't ask for material boon, but then he had the desire because his patni ne bheja tha. जैसे ही घर पास में I started thinking, बाप रे, my wife had told me ask, I didn't ask. What will happen now? But then Sudama got whatever he was supposed to get. Because Sudama had a pride that he is poor. There's a tinge of pride that was there, that I am the most poor. There's no other person as poor as me. Lord gave him all the opulence and made him rich and broke his pride. And obviously, he is a devotee, so Lord wanted to make sure that he remains satisfied with material life also. Yudhishthira Maharaj is another example. Ambarish Maharaj is another example. Prahlad Maharaj is another example. Lord Narasimhadev is asking Prahlad, ask me any boon what you want. And Prahlad with all his swag he says, yes, he says, oh Lord, do you think I'm Vanik? You think I'm a businessman? I don't want anything. And Lord forcefully makes him the king of the entire universe. And then Lord forces him, you have to enjoy, I forgot the number, if I'm not wrong, 60,000 years in this material world, and then you can come back to my abode. And for sure you'll come back to my abode. Can you imagine when Lord comes and tells, enjoy Madi? For sure at the end of life you'll come back to me. Can you imagine? कितना मजा आ जाएगा ना एकदम. Then no one can stop us. We'll enjoy left, right, center. Yes. So in this way we see that when it comes to the Lord, He does give material benefits, but then the first thing that He does is He purifies the heart of the devotee. Because finally that is what makes a difference. Lust, greed, anger, jealousy, pride, envy, they are there in the heart. That has to be purified. When that is purified, the devotee in that purified state can use whatever he has in service of the Lord, render devotional service and go back home, back to Godhead. Very, very important thing to note. Which Devatas cannot do. They cannot purify the heart. Yes?
अमरीश महाराज वाला कौन क्या?
वो बताएंगे कभी. That pastor is next level. One of my favorite. We'll tell sometime. Yes, so now demigod worship is ultimately futile.
Because the boons of demigods are material and temporary. I'm just summarizing whatever I spoke. And following are like bubbles in the cosmic ocean. They will vanish. So first, material world and inhabitants. The worshippers and the material world. That is going to get vanquished. Second, demigods and the planets are also going to get vanquished. The demigod and the boon that is given, that is going to get vanquished. Are Baba, everything is temporary. Worshipper,
Devta, planet, and the boon that is given. What sort of business is this? Do some business where we get great profit. And that is worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead and come back to Godhead. And forget about this material world. The actual happiness is there in the spiritual world, not here. Someday we'll discuss about the spiritual world also. Therefore it is described, this is a point which we can also note. Demigod worship is ultimately futile, but Krishna worship is ultimately successful. A very, very important point. And also it's a very important thing to note that a demigod worshipper, even if he attains the planet of the Devta, since it is temporary, he is going to anyway suffer after that. But someone come back to Godhead, Krishna says, Yadyatva nivartante tadhama paramam mama, 15th chapter. So Krishna is making very clear that anyone who comes to my abode, Yadgatva na nivartante. Once he comes to my abode, he will never fall down again to the material world. What other stamp we want? Krishna has stamped already. But come, I'll take care. And this is a permanent abode, this is a permanent asset. So therefore, it's an important thing that why not work for the best? Sochni wali baat hai. Why not be intelligent and work for the best? Next one. Demigod worship is for the less intelligent. And Krishna worship is for the truly intelligent. Congratulations. Now, a very important point is made here, which you'll never forget. A nice example that was given.
desire for material sense gratification is like itching. See, whenever we have a material desire,
and say that material desire, okay, let's talk about itching first. Sab log ho jate hai na? Yes, so when you have itching sensation, so when you itch, don't you feel like itching it again, the same place? And again, and again, and again till it becomes reddish? And sometimes bleeds also? Yes, that's itching. Okay. That's how sense gratificatory desires are. Say you desire for some sense gratification and say that is fulfilled. Tell me, can you guarantee that you will not get another sense gratificatory desire? You will get. Surely get. So, one sense gratificatory desire gives rise to another sense gratificatory desire, and the next, and the next, and the next. It's unending. So it is compared to itching. But then these sense gratificatory desires tell me why it is compared to itching. Because finally it's going to bleed, no, it's going to hurt. These sense gratificatory desires are successfully keeping us in this material world. Again, congratulations. We all are in this material world because of Kujali. Yes. Kujali. And what do devatas do? Bichare, they don't have option only. Someone does some birth, some procedure, for some sense gratificatory desire, they have to fulfill. And when they fulfill the desire, now this personality is worshipping, again he'll have more desires, and more, and more, and more. So what is happening? Itching is increasing, it's not getting cured. But when someone goes to Krishna, what happens? Krishna cures the itching disease that is there. He does not give another vent or another place so that the itching can grow. No. He makes sure that it is cured completely. The disease is cured completely. Therefore, in this way we have to understand that when it comes to the Lord, He acts like a doctor. And He fulfills or He cures the particular disease that the person has. Not that He aggravates the disease the person has. But unfortunately, when it comes to the worship of devatas, unfortunately, they also don't have option. They just give the benediction. And what happens? The disease gets aggravated. The disease of sense gratification gets aggravated and increases and increases and increases. And finally, the person is destroyed because he is there in the material world. He is distorting in this material world, suffering in this material world. Therefore, Krishna calls these people as less intelligent. Please repeat.
Antavattu phalam tesham तद्भवत्यल्पमेधसाम् देवान् देवयजो यान्ति मद्भक्ता यान्ति मामपि. So
Basically, there are different vratas, 14 days, 12 days, 6 days, 1 month, 6 months. All those vratas are there. I have one stotra which is chanted for Ganpati, Ganesh stotra. Jape Ganpati stotram shabder maase phalam lave. So, if you have some desire, and for 6 months, if you chant this, so what happens? Whatever desire you have, that will get fulfilled, material desire, in less than 6 months. And the stotra continues, it says, Vidyarthi labate vidyam. Dhanarthe labate dhanam. Oh, okay, continue. नहीं आता है. पुत्रार्थे लभते पुत्रम, मोक्षार्थे लभते गतिम. सभी उसी बैकग्राउंड से आ रहे 6 महीने वाले लोग हैं. So very clear. So Vidyarthi, who wants Vidya, he gets that. Dhanarthi, the one who is arthi or desiring for dhana, he gets that. Putrarthi, he gets putra. And moksharthi, what he gets? Huh? He doesn't need moksha. So it is a mokshati labate moksham nahi diya. Moksharthi labate gatim, some higher destination. See, if you understand Sanskrit and a little bit whoever knows Sanskrit, you can easily make out who can give moksha, who can give sense gratification, who can give what. Very clear. Yes. So now there's a very important point to note that they're less intelligent. Why? Because their fruits are limited and temporary. Krishna is saying, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Multiple times Krishna is saying this in Bhagavad Gita. Multiple times. बस टाइम निकाल के भगवद गीता पढ़ना है और क्या. We'll have all the knowledge what we're supposed to do in life. Now another very important question.
Do all paths lead to the same goal? इसलिए मैं ऐसा फोटो डाला.
No ही बोलना है. That's but obvious. All paths are not going to lead to the same goal. It's almost like you put food anywhere in the 9 holes of your body, it will go to the stomach. No, it's not. There's only one way. There's mouth. Yes, in the diseased state, then you put in the nose, you put in other parts, other holes. The normal state, mouth only, right? And Krishna is telling, see, anyone who reads Gita, no, they will not have all these misconceptions. Yes, you do whatever you want, finally, तो वहीं जाना है. Can you imagine when people come to me and they say all this? आप तो ये कर रहे हैं, हम तो ये कर रहे हैं. Finally, सभी को कहाँ जाना है? उसी जगह पे तो जाना है. ना कौन सी जगह पे जा रहे हो? मैं तो नहीं होगा उधर. जाओ जाना है. Yes. Krishna is making it very clear. Very, very wonderful shloka.
Yanti deva vrata deva pitrin yanti pitrivrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopi ma. Translation.
Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me.
See, very clear.
This is called as crystal clear shlok. If someone after reading this also has same understanding that all paths lead to the same goal, we shouldn't take that person into our class. Because there's no point. Such wonderful shloka, which makes it very clear. 9th chapter, shloka 25, makes it very clear that how all the paths, they are leading to different destinations. Prabhupada will always give this example. That I have taken ticket to Delhi and I am thinking that I will go to Madras. Yes. I am getting on the train which goes to Delhi and I am thinking I will go to Madras. How is it possible? How is it possible? So this concept that you worship anyone, you do whatever you want, finally you are going to reach the same destination. This is stupidity. Very clear. Yanti Devan Vrata. Sorry, Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. Anyone worships any Devta, and that too worships. I hope you remember how that worship, I spoke about the 6 symptoms. Such a person will go to their planet. But today we understood that how they and their planets and the worshipper and their moon, everything is temporary. Pitri Yanti Priti Vrataha, the ones who worship forefathers, they'll go to the planets of forefathers. It's called as Pitri Lok. So Prabhupada, I think this verse or some other verse, where he was dictating. And his disciples are supposed to transcribe that here and then transcribe that. So Prabhupada said Pitri Loka. And they translated it as Tri Loka. And it is there still in some books. Yes. So in this way we see that how anyone worships, they will go to that person. Now this one is very dangerous. Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya. You worship Bhoot and you become Bhoot. Tantrics and other people, they do all this nonsense. Yes. Yanti Madhya Jinopi Mam. But the ones who worship me, they will come to me, they will live with me. He makes it very clear. So see, throughout Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has not left any space for any doubt for his worship. After giving the entire Bhagavad Gita, when he told Arjun, Yatha Ichchasi Tatha Kuru, even after telling do whatever you want, after that also he gives 2 instructions. 18th chapter, shloka 65 and 66. 65, again Krishna is telling, Manmana, Bhava Madbhakto, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. So he's saying that Manmana, always think of me, O Arjun. Bhava Madbhakto, become my devotee. He's saying Mad Bhakto, he's not saying that become devotee of any devata. He's saying Mad Bhakto. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam Namaskuru, pay obeisance to me. Abhi बताइए इससे ज़्यादा clear cut और कहाँ मिलेगा? Tell me. Lord is making it very clear. And then to emphasize this point again in the next shloka, 18th chapter, 66 shloka. Sarva dharman parityajya. Give up all the conceptions that you have and ekam. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. He's saying mam ekam. No multiple surrender. Just surrender unto me. And if you surrender unto me, say, we Kali-yuga beings, we ask him, kya milega? And then he says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshaishyami. I will take away all the sins. I'll take care of you. Again, Kali-yuga beings, they have a question. Kya guarantee hai? And the Lord says, Ma Sucha, don't worry. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. Don't worry. Can you imagine? It's clear. It's all clear. Why it's not clear for people of this age? It's clear in Bhagavad Gita, no? But why it's not clear for people in this age? Less intelligent people. Quick.
Sense gratification.
Sense gratification.
Because they don't go through scriptures.
They don't read Bhagavad Gita. Simple. Can you imagine such a big responsibility all of us have? We have to convince people to take Bhagavad Gita first. मत पढ़ो, आप सिर्फ रखो अपने पास. दूसरा, next time when we meet, we'll ask them, पढ़ा कि नहीं? But at least initially, at least give a Gita. Yes. And try to convince them to purchase a Gita than gifting. And then once they purchase Gita and then then you can, we are printing Shloka Day cards also. You can give Shloka Day cards also. Ask them to download the app. खोलो मत, app खोलो मत. Book खोलो मत. बस रखो अपने पास. शुभ. It will be all auspicious. And after that, next time when you meet, पढ़ा आपने? And they're like, अरे तूने तो बोला रखने बोला था. कभी तो निकाल के पढ़ भी लो. कितना टाइम लगेगा? 5 मिनट? 2 मिनट दे दो बस. एक लाइन पढ़ लो. And then ठीक है चलो तुम बोल रहे हो तो. And the next time you meet, पढ़ा? हाँ एक लाइन पढ़ा. अरे शर्म करो. एक श्लोक तो पढ़ो.
मैंने यही बोला था प्रभु. 2 लोगों को दिया था कलीग्स को ऑफिस में. तो उनको मैंने यही कहा था. अगर पढ़ोगे नहीं तो मैं पेमेंट लूंगा फिर आपसे.
ये अलग टेक्निक है.
नेक्स्ट टाइम पूछूंगा पढ़ा है वरना फिर आप पेमेंट देना फिर.
So the thing is, see, we have a great responsibility. Not just this, there's so much of clarity about life in Bhagavad Gita, but people don't have Bhagavad Gita, they don't have wisdom of Gita, because they don't read. Why do you think, we recorded 652 videos? Because people don't want to read, no. So I thought, okay, let's record videos, at least people will watch. And people are watching. And then they're getting some interest and then they're reading Bhagavad Gita. So it's a very important thing. We should use our innovative ideas to make sure that somehow Gita reaches home. Every house should have Bhagavad Gita. This is something which we have to achieve. And it's a responsibility of all of us. For sure. Because we are already devotees, right? So we are expected to assist the Lord in His mission. And what is the mission? Everyone should become devotees of the Lord. So Bhagavad Gita has to be given first to everyone. Therefore, this missionary spirit is very much needed, in all of us. If something that is lacking in Sanatan Dharma is this missionary spirit. अपने आप में लोग खुश है घर पे. शादी हो गई, बच्चे हो गए, बच्चों का पालन कर रहे, बूढ़ा हो गया, मर गया. अरे, is there any responsibility towards the society or not? We take birth as a dog. We have sex like a dog. We beget kids like a dog. Take care of the puppies till they become a dog, elderly dog, and die. Tell me what is the difference between a human being and a dog? Therefore, it is described whatever capacity we have. Up to that capacity, we should do some missionary activity. Yes. When it comes to Mormons, I was telling this in another class. It's a daily, it's a branch of Christianity. So in Mormons, it's compulsory after 12th standard, 2 years, everyone is expected, boys are expected to work as a missionary for 2 years. And they will send wherever they want. Whichever state, whichever country, they will send. And for 2 years, they have to work as a missionary. And then after that, it's up to them. They want to continue as a full-time missionary or they want to get married. It's up to them. 2 years compulsory. First. Second, they have a rule that every house should give 10% of their earnings to the church. अभी बताओ, funds है, manpower है, प्रचार क्यों नहीं होगा? What Sanatan Dharma lacks is a proper institution first. Second, manpower. And third is Lakshmi or funds. नहीं हो रहा इसलिए. Many times people say, when you go and distribute books on the streets, they say, अरे क्रिश्चियन लोग तो बाइबल फ्री में देते हैं, आप भी फ्री में दो भगवद गीता. अरे बेशरम शर्म करो, लास्ट टाइम डोनेशन कभी दिए थे? फटा हुआ 10 रुपए का नोट हुंडी में डालते हैं. I was very astonished, when sometimes we open the hundi, to count. अलग अलग चीजें मिलती है उसमें. The note जो चलता नहीं है वो डाला जाता है उसमें. Especially 500 rupees note और वो सब जो बंद हुआ था, वो सब मिल रहा था तो हुंडी में. बोलिए. This is the sthiti of Sanatan Dharma as of now, right? Therefore, I always keep telling, all the boys who are sincere, that invest some time in missionary activity. All the clarity is there. This clarity has to be just delivered to people. Invest time in missionary activity. क्या करना है बस? Go distribute Bhagavad Gita, invite people, to our programs. Yes. In the yatra I was telling, right? We can take a vow, a missionary vow. In this year 2023, I'll connect at least one soul to Krishna. That connection should be strong, ऐसा नहीं कि लेके आ गया और भाग गया. Strong connection with Krishna. This is our responsibility. Yes. And now December will come, we distribute Bhagavad Gita on the street. Why can't we go on the street every single day, at least for half an hour and distribute? At least for 1 month? Yes. And so many people hesitate, to give donation. Why so much of hesitation? I remember, I was talking to my parents. And then I said, "Abhi donation do?" And then my mother was like, "Beta to chala gaya, donation bhi leke ja raha hai." But she made a valid point which many people have, same thing. जब भगवान ज़्यादा देंगे तो उसमें से थोड़ा देंगे उनको. Yes. But the thing is, why wait for that? Yes. I always tell all my students, 5% to 10% of the salary should be given as donation. There is no question of waiting. Okay, now my salary is 10,000, I'll wait it to become 1 lakh, then I'll give. Why wait? Yes. And another very important thing which people don't understand is that when someone offers a donation, what happens? Sukrita to usse hi mil raha hai na. So whatever punya is lacking is getting so that he can get material benefits in future. People don't understand all this. They say पहले मैं जमा करूँगा फिर उसमें से बाद में दूँगा. But anyone who reads Shastra, they voluntarily give donation, money. They voluntarily give their time. They voluntarily give their energy. Yes. So if anyone is interested to propagate Sanatana Dharma, these 3 are very important. A bona fide institution, Fortunately, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have a bona fide institution. Second, we need funds. More than funds, second is manpower. Yes, who can work as a volunteer. And third is funds. These three are needed. Why will not Sanatana Dharma grow? It has to grow. It has to. बस फेसबुक पे पोस्ट करना और यूट्यूब पे शॉर्ट्स बना के डालना उससे थोड़ी होने वाला सनातन धर्म का कुछ. But do something in the background by doing these three. Yes, very very important. So anyways, I came to that point because of this. There's so much of clarity, it has to be delivered to people. Because they are not delivered, it's a problem, they're not understanding that what they're supposed to do in life. They just get stuck. They get stuck in some of the other lower activities and take birth again in this material world. Either on this planet or some planet higher or lower. This is the shloka which I was talking about.
That is watering the roots of the tree, feeding to the stomach, pranoparas chetandriyanam, and tathaiva sarvar hanam achutejya. By satisfying the Lord, all the Devi Devtas who are the parts and parcels of the Lord, they will be satisfied. Now I have a question to all of you.
Can Devatas give moksha?
No.
Why?
Only Lord Krishna can.
Okay.
Because the people who is in this material world, how can he get the moksha? Because
So someone who is under three modes of material nature, how can that personality give moksha to other person? Moksha means what? Going beyond three modes of material nature. So one person is stuck in three modes, how can that person give moksha to anyone? Right? So therefore, the next point is demigods cannot avoid
liberation. Only Krishna can. It's only Krishna. And the example is this. Hiranyakashipu, the first thing that he asked was, I want to become immortal. And the topmost
Devta, that is Brahma of this material world, what he says, I myself am not immortal. How can I give you immortality? Tabhi, this great personality, Hiranyakashipu, he thought, हम तो शाने हैं, हम तो मांगेंगे ऐसा कुछ by which I'll become immortal. And like a stupid, he asked so many things. No, I shouldn't die in the air, nor on the land, inside the house, outside the house, nor with anything that is dead or anything that is alive, nor in the air, nor in the sky, nor in the ground,
Not in day.
not in day, nor in night, and not in any of the 12 months.
Not with
And when Lord appeared, it was Adhik Mas, which is currently going on. खुद को शाणे समझते हैं. Living in Jivatma, who is bewildered, they are the ones who think they are smart, over smart, and they'll ask all these boons, and they are skilled. So this goes on to say that's how the Devi Devtas, they cannot award liberation. Max to max, they can give some material benefit because they are empowered by the Lord to give material benefit. Yes, that's a very important question. These managers have only a limited range of authority. For subject outside their power of jurisdiction, they have to approach a higher authority. सबका एक jurisdiction है. There's an area that is given to them. Like for example, Yamaraj and Yamadutas, their jurisdiction is only on sinful people. वो अजामिल का जब pastime हुआ, in that Yamadutas went to Yamaraj and then they were having fight with him. We are going to resign our job. What is the use? We were thinking that you are the supreme, but then there is something else, someone else who is supreme looks like. And then Yamaraj asked, "Arey bhai log pehle batao hua kya?" And then they made it very clear. Then they said that this Ajamil, he chanted Narayana, and 4 beautiful personalities appeared. दिखने में तो सुंदर, but काम डाकू वाला कर रहे थे. They were saving this Duratma, calling him as Mahatma. Tell us, oh Lord, tell us what is the truth. And at that time, Yamaraj gave them an instruction. How he described the glories of the holy name, how Ajamil was purified, all that. And then he gave an instruction. He said, never dare to go near those devotees who attend Festival of Enlightenment. He actually said that don't go near those devotees who chant Hare Krishna, who chant the holy name of the Lord, who are worshipping the Lord, and various other things which are there. And there is a description which is there that anyone who puts tilak on the forehead, has kantimala around the neck, anyone who worships Tulasi, touches Tulasi, such a person can never be touched by Yamadutas. मैं तो सेफ हूँ, आप लोग को पता अपना देख लो आप लोग. So here is a very important point, that Yamaraj is such a great personality, but then he has own jurisdiction on sinful people. So there Yamaraj gives an instruction: bring those people to my place whose head never bow down in front of the Lord Vishnu, whose tongue never chant the holy name, whose hands and whose body don't serve the Lord and His devotees. Get such people to me. समझ रहे हैं? Bhagavatam, 6th canto, chapter number 3, if I'm not wrong. पूरा description अगर पढ़ना है तो पढ़ लो. Yes. So in this way, very clearly it is mentioned that how these Devi Devatas, they have their own jurisdiction. Now there's a question. There's always a debate on Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva can give moksha or not?
Yes.
Lord Shiva can give moksha or not?
No.
No. How many of you say no? Okay. How many of you say yes? How many of you say maybe?
Different one, probably. That is different.
Okay. नहीं, moksha तो एक है, breaking the cycle of birth and death. We are not talking about Vaikuntha, we are talking about moksha, just moksha, breaking the cycle of birth and death. So there is a nice shloka here.
Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur eva na samshayah. Lord Shiva is saying this. There is no doubt that only Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. This statement, which
Lord himself, Lord Shiva himself is telling us. So there is a nice pastime that is given in this particular Bhavishya Parva. This is about a Pishacha named Ghanta Karna. Ghanta Karna. Now various things happened and then he came to Lord Shiva that please give me moksha. And he said, I cannot give, I am not empowered to do that. And then Lord Shiva felt very bad and he said, what is the use? I am not able to help this person. And it is described he did a lot of tapasya. I don't know the details, which place he had gone for tapasya. Okay. He did a lot of tapasya for many, many years. And at that time, Lord bestows the mercy on Lord Shiva by which he was enabled to give mukti to people. So this is equivalent to, so basically, which role was Lord Shiva playing here? He was playing the role of not the Supreme Personality, but he was playing the role of a guru. Yes. So guru is empowered to give benediction to the disciple to break the cycle of birth and death. This guru can do. So this is the role that Lord Shiva is playing. Understanding everyone? So Lord is giving, Lord is empowering the great personalities, the pure devotees, so that they can help subordinates to break the cycle of birth and death. So Lord Shiva is playing the role of a guru. And by which he also has the power to give mukti. Srila Prabhupada would say this, that you just chant 16 rounds every day, follow 4 relative principles. I know all the doors of Goloka Vrindavan, I'll take you back door, from the back door. इसको कहते हैं confidence of a guru. You would say that, yes. And Prabhupada has made his statements also. You hold my dhoti, I'll take you back home. You hold my dhoti, I'll take you back home. Prabhupada said that, not mine. Prabhupada, it's not mine. Yes. So what do you mean by holding the dhoti, or what do you mean by taking shelter? Following the instructions. Following the instructions of the guru. So guru bestows mercy by which the person becomes eligible to break the cycle of birth and death. So same role Lord Shiva is also playing. Is that clear, everyone? Yes. The next one. Demigod worship.
like bribing officers. Now you have to explain. How?
See, I'll give just a quick. I'll give you an hint. So you can compare the universal administration with the government or the Indian administration, that is the universal government with the Indian government, and talk about bribing. Boli.
अभी suppose you want to build a house, municipal से मतलब प्रोसीजर रहता है, वो सारी चीजें फॉर्म वगैरह भर के करना पड़ता है और उसके लिए समझो कि 8 महीने से 12 महीने लगते हैं प्रोसीजर के लिए. So what many builders do is they bribe the officer so that it fast tracks. So
how do you compare that with Devta worship?
So मतलब quick fixes के लिए डेमिगॉड्स के पास
Okay. Someone wants to add to his point?
You do some rituals, you'll get back what.
Okay, you do some rituals and then you get something. What? Anything else?
Yeah, we'll 100 that coconut will break and
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Okay, you'll get something. Anything else you want to add?
1 किलो लड्डू चढ़ाएंगे एग्जाम में पास हो जाएंगे.
1 kilo laddu chada ke exam mein pass. Very nice. Anything else? So see, this bribing. Why? Because there's a government authority head. He has told some rules and regulations. Instead of following that, I'm going to a subordinate there and telling, table ke niche, ye le, mujhe wo de de. Yes? Same thing we are doing. Instead of worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to attain the ultimate benefit, what are you trying to do? Something temporary in between, and we are doing that quick fix in between. Okay, I'm giving you this, you give me this. This is the business, that is there, which is not proper, right? Demigods are representatives of the Lord, and to worship them separately from the Lord is considered avidhi purvakam, or worship done in a wrong way. Considering the devatas to be separate from the Lord, like for example, considering these different ministers to be separate from the government official, the government, and then bribing them to get some work done, that's a problem, that's the bribing, that's illegal. Similarly, considering a devata to be separate from the Lord, and then getting some work done, that is actually improper, that is bribing. Is that clear to everyone? So, understanding is what? All these different Devi Devatas, including us, we are not Devi Devatas, but including us, we all are part and parcel of Krishna. 15th chapter, Shloka 7, Krishna is saying, Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha, Manasasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. He is making it very clear that everyone in this world are my part and parcel. He is very clear. Very, very clear. So now, finally, few questions and we'll end now. If demigod
Worship is condemned, why do scriptures prescribe it? आंसर तो है, हाँ बोलिए अपना आंसर बोलिए.
फर्स्ट स्टेप टुवर्ड्स
कुछ तो करो. भगवान बोले कुछ तो करो लाइफ में. All the time you just keep doing something for yourself only. Accept someone as your authority. You know what? In general, people don't want to accept an authority. Therefore, I have seen, even after coming to bhaktis, spending FOE 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, doing all that, people don't want to accept an authority and follow instruction. Khud ka karna chahte hai. Even after coming to bhakti, So unless and until you don't accept authority and follow instructions, there is no question of advancing in spiritual life. Always remember this. Not possible. Maybe. Normally what happens is, we are there somewhere, and from there quickly we have come to a certain level. Say chanting 16 rounds, following 4 relative principles or whatever. We are relishing chanting, Bhagavatam or whatever. One thing you have to understand is, past life में वहाँ छोड़ा रहेगा, इसलिए फटाक से आ गए यहाँ तक. But the actual journey begins. We resume from here. And then the actual struggle will be there. So sometimes people go independent. No, I don't want anyone. I will not follow anyone. I know what I am supposed to do. Lord reveals everything in my heart. Yes. What you love? There are people. Lord reveals everything in my heart. And then I don't need anyone in between. Me and God. Yes. Me and my Lord. No one in between. No Godman is needed. This is a problem. And you know what? Because of that, many boys, I see, many nice boys, they go out of bhakti. This way, pakadne wala nahi hai na. See, when will someone hold you? जब अपने लाइफ का लगाम किसी को देंगे तभी. When you will give the ropes of your life to someone, then they will hold. No. Then they will control. But you are not giving the control of your life to anyone. Who will be eager to control your life? A spiritualist is never eager to control anyone's life. They have their own sadhana to do, they have their own various things to do, various services, missionary activities. So unless and until we don't go and surrender and say that, my ropes of my life are in your hand. You please manage. You please tell me what am I supposed to do. And then when the instruction is given, तो ऐसे नहीं कहता, अरे छोड़ो प्रभु जी आप क्या बोलते रहते हो. He takes it seriously. And then he executes that as his life and soul. So this is a very, very important thing. Why I am saying this? Because I have seen many boys, because of their independent mentality, they go out of bhakti and there is so much of pain in our heart. अरे अच्छा तो था, क्या हो गया? Because of the independent mentality. I don't want anyone. Lord and me. वो तो बाहर में मिल जाएंगे फिर. भक्तों की क्या जरूरत है फिर? All that thing comes into picture. Therefore, it is described, living entities normally don't like any authority. Forget about outside people. Devotees don't want authority. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Gopinath Manaje Pagala Mora Namane Shasana Sada Chetana Vishairo Eche Ghora. He's saying, oh Gopinath, Manaje Pagal Mor. My mind is mad. And what are the characteristics of the mind? 3 characteristics is telling. First, Na Mane Shasana. It does not like authority. Sada Achetan, always inert. And Vishayero Eche Ghora, always want to do sense gratification. Bhakti karna nahi hai mere man ko. तो इसलिए मुझे गुरु नहीं चाहिए. I don't want any authority on me. So it's very important to note authority is needed in spiritual life. And for those people who have not come to spiritual life, for them it's such a big problem, Authority to hai nahi. Therefore, demigods are put in the respective places. At least you go and surrender to someone. Accept someone as authority. With time, you will finally come to accept the highest authority. So at least accept someone as your authority. Right? So therefore, this is a very important point that this particular thing, demigod worship, is a valid worship. Therefore, see another very important thing. This we shouldn't go out and tell people that no, what you're doing is not proper. You give up all that. You worship only Krishna. No, that's not possible for everyone. Isliye don't go and shake people unnecessarily. Only those people whose consciousness is elevated, only those people who want to break the cycle of birth and death, who is searching for something permanent, only they will accept worship of the Lord in a selfless mood to go back to God. Therefore, unnecessarily, even at the home, I've seen many boys they do. Ghar pe kuch worship chal raha and all that, and then you disturb that. You don't disturb the worship that is going on in the home. Let them do at least something. Yes? And then just tell them, please add Mahamantra to your life. Keep a photo of the Lord in your altar. With other Devi Devas, keep this also, no problem. And then, Krishna has his own way. He enters through a small hole and he blasts. He will blast. So preacher का job सिर्फ यही होता है. छोटे से होल से कृष्णा को घुसा दो. बाकी कृष्णा तो देख लेंगे. He is Vamandev after all. Yes. And Krishna has his own techniques and tactics to remove everything else, and then he will be sitting in the heart of that person. Yes. So in this way we understand that how demigod worship is proper, but it's meant for those people who are not very intelligent, who are materially attached, who are sense gratifiers, who don't want any authority. At least you start surrendering to someone. With that mode, this particular thing is there. And also another very important thing, you all can observe this. Any Devi Devta worship, you'll always find Lord Vishnu or Krishna is invoked at the start of the worship and the end of the worship and in the middle also. Even any yajna you take, be it a Ganpati Homa or be it some other Homa, you'll always find Vishnu's invocation first. Om Vishnave Namaha. And then so many other mantras are there to invoke the Lord. And that's how it is. And then, in fact, we have seen this, in Maharashtra, they worship Lord Ganpati. And then the Aarti, and after that they sing this, very nice towards the end. Kayena vacha manasendriyeva buddhyatmanava prakriti svabhava karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. Finally, whichever Aarti they sing, this is the ending. Narayana yeti samarpayami. So whatever I think, speak and do with my mind, intelligence, senses, I offer them all at the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Narayan. So by default, any proper procedure of the Devi Devta worship that is there has to start with Vishnu worship and has to end with Vishnu worship. Another very important thing to note, maybe in the next slide it is there. How to deal with Devi Devtas.
Very, very important. तो आज सुन लिए हम क्लास में
that Krishna worship is the ultimate. अभी हम नहीं जाएंगे. अगर कोई कर भी रहा है तो शी क्या है ये? देवता वर्शिप. ये किसकी पूजा कर रहे हो? This is called as aparadha. This is called as offense. Krishna does not like his own associates who are helping him to take care of the entire universe to be insulted or offended. So we do pay obeisance to them. But then another, so this is one part, we'll come back to this. One very, very important thing. Now say, you go to a constable and then you start glorifying him. That you are the great personality, आपके वजह से पूरा police station पूरे इंडिया में चल रहा है, etc. Now tell me, will he feel very nice? He'll feel offended. Why are you doing this sarcasm with me? Similarly, if you go to some devta and you say, oh, you're that supreme personality of Godhead. You're the one taking care of everything. You're doing this, you're doing that. And devta will be thinking, अरे तुम्हें मजाक उड़ा रहा है? Can you imagine? So this is a very important thing to note, that one has to be very careful to understand that how to glorify a personality also. So gopis were worshipping Katyayani Devi. So they would worship Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayogin Adishwari Nanda Gopasuta Devi Pati Me Kurute Namaha. So they would worship Katyayani Durga. Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayogin Adishwari. You can actually give any of the material benedictions. So here we are asking something, and they are asking spiritual. What they are asking, Nanda Gopa Kumara, Nanda Maharaj's son, Pati Me Kurute Namaha. Please make him our husband. This is called prayer. Therefore, whichever devta we go, we happen to visit, this is a prayer that we can offer, that you are so close to the Lord, that you are serving directly under Him to maintain this entire universe. Oh Devta, oh Devi, please help me to get closer to Krishna. I don't want anything in life. Please help me to get closer to Krishna. You know what? That Devta will be extremely pleased with that devotee. Extremely pleased. कोई तो कुछ substantial thing मांगा मेरे से आज. पैसे दे दो, प्रमोशन दे दो, उस बॉस को मार डालो, घर दे दो, वाइफ दे दो, बच्चे दे दो, बस यही चल रहा है. At least someone is asking me something substantial which I can give. And you know what? They can give. If someone prays to the devta that I don't want anything, they are also puzzled. Arey, you are paying obeisance to me and you are saying you don't want anything, I have to give you something, ask me something. I just want Krishna Bhakti. Please take me closer to Krishna. And they will say Tathastu. And by their mercy, we can become nice devotees. Even today, I owe a lot to Lord Shiva because I come from Shaivite background. I was initiated in that line, yes. And I owe a lot to him, Lord Ganpati, because I used to worship them. And today also I feel that it is by their mercy, yes. Because I was searching for the truth. I was searching for the higher destination. What is that? Whom am I supposed to worship? I always had this conviction that there is one God, for sure, Supreme. Who is that Supreme? I was puzzled always. And I was in so much of ignorance, I hardly knew anything about Krishna. So much in ignorance. I still owe, whatever little I am, they have actually brought me, to Krishna consciousness. Because this prayer is always there. Tell me what is ultimate. Yes, please take me to the ultimate thing. And there we got. And so many examples, I'm a very tuchha jeev, but when it comes to so many great personalities, we have seen that they have worshipped, devtas, Lord Shiva or Ganesha or whoever, and the devta has given, and I'm not getting that one devotee's name, who was worshipping Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva directed him to Lord Krishna. He said you have to go there.
Ghantakarna also the same case.
Ghantakarna was there, yes. But there's some other personality also very famous. Narsingh Mehta, yes, Narsingh Mehta, Gujarat. So this personality was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva appeared in front of him or gave him various knowledge. And he told that ultimate worship is Vishnu worship or Krishna worship. And from that time onwards, Narsingh Mehta, he became a great devotee of Lord Krishna. And he is very much known in the entire Gujarat area. And then he wrote many songs glorifying Lord Shri Krishna. Yes. So this is a great thing. This is what devtas do. If a proper prayer is offered. Okay, I feel done. Any questions?
You discussed Ravana's case. Parvati Mata said why you are not saving that Ravana. But we are seeing in Krishna Leela, he came to fight for some Asur who was asking Lord Shiva. He was also worshipper of Shiva, and he asked you can come and fight with Krishna.
some places there are some very few pastimes where Lord Shiva has come forward, to fight for his so-called devotees, to prove that how even I am dependent on the Lord and I cannot win over my Lord, something like that.
To prove that.
To prove that, yeah.
And and Dhruv Maharaj, you said like he is doing penance, and I have heard like Devata goes to Vishnu and asks like go and appear up in front of, although he is free, but they were having some problem and they are also devotees. So
Because he was doing such intense meditation, the time he stopped breathing, it is described that the breathing of the entire universe stopped because of that. Because he was holding the Lord in his heart. And he stopped breathing and the entire breathing of the universe stopped. So Devata said, Bhutan Mesur, I do something, O Lord, he's meditating on you, go.
So this, at least this signifies like with some process he was able to force the other, at least officers of the Lord, to go and ask to him to come.
More than that, it was Narad Muni's mercy on him. You cannot force the Lord. It was Narad Muni's mercy. And why did Lord appear? Because he followed exactly what instruction Narad Muni gave. Exactly, he did it one by one. So because Narad Muni said, he followed, because Narad Muni is close to the Lord, Lord appeared in front of the devotee. So anytime, one thing I have to understand is, if I have to attain perfection in life, I have to be close to a pure devotee of the Lord. Because when we give our introduction, what will it tell? Naam to sunai hoga. Yes. Krishna ne nahi sunai maine. Go. When we say I'm dog of this person, then okay, you're a dog of okay, then you come. Then you are Lord. Yes. So it's very, very important to become a dog of Vaishnav. Therefore it is said, Ami tumhara kukur, O he Vaishnav. O Vaishnav, I am your kukur, I am your dog. It's very important to become a servant and a follower of a devotee, a pure devotee. Very important. So he was a devotee, he was a servant of Narad Muni. He followed the instruction and Lord was very pleased with that answer.
I brought this desire for material sense gratification, you said, right? Like, so, is there any other sense gratification also apart from material sense gratification, like any spiritual sense gratification also exists?
Okay. No, just to put it forward that how it is material, we say material sense gratification. Now, sense gratification थोड़ा और अच्छे से बताने के लिए we say material sense gratification. Because as soon as you add material, that becomes temporary. So some people who has that thing that मैं ये eternally करते रहा मैं sense gratification. So material word helps them to understand eternally possible नहीं. Like that.
And this worshipper of Bhutas, they go to tantric kind of people. So
no, they worshippers of Bhutas become
Bhuta. But even we see like there is no other loka bhi जो उसको worship करते हैं वो they worship here itself. And I've heard one of the pastime of Sanatana Goswami or something. They were showing Krishna. So when he chanted Mahamantra and he just fallen down. That was some booth was there. So
devotees have delivered so many booths, no doubt about that.
So means if that tantric who was trying to see this, so how he can go another loka? He was worshipping here only, and that bhuta is also coming here only.
So Bhuvar Loka is the place where these personalities stay, the ghosts.
So they come from that place here to take worship like that.
देवतास अगर रिसीव कर सकते तो घोष क्यों नहीं रिसीव कर सकते?
उनको भी पावर इतना मिल गया है.
हाँ. See, understand, we have less power because we are stuck in the gross body. समझ रहे हैं? They just have subtle body. They are very powerful. Mind, intelligence, false ego. That's the only thing that they have.
So if they are more powerful, then they can also make us stuck because they can come and tell like, okay, I know about you and I know this thing, I can do this.
इसलिए तो जब करना चाहिए अच्छे से. इसलिए कोई कुछ बिगाड़ नहीं सकता. हाँ, yes.
Thank you for the class, Prabhuji. Tumkul said Shivakumar Swami and other Siddheshwar Appaji both come from Shaivite background itself.
I also belong to their line only.
Okay.
My family.
They practiced the devotion service with respect to Shaivite tradition, right? Will go to heaven that the demigod?
See, firstly, their concept is I want to become one with Shiva. Linga Aikya, this is the word that they use. They want to become one with Shiva. That itself is not proper. So that's not proper.
Second question regarding sense gratification and itching. If you go to doctor to take medicine for itching, doctor gives the medicine for itching, and he tells, please try to forget itching. same way, how we have to forget sense gratification goals?
Krishna will do. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter, Shloka 11, Tesham evam kampartam aham ajnana jantamaha nashayami atmabhavastu jnana dipena bhashvata. He is saying that I shower my special mercy onto my devotees who are engaged in devotional service. What is that special mercy? I lit the lamp of knowledge in the heart. Tell me, why we are doing sense gratification? Because we are ignorance. Tell me, why is it that a boy is getting attracted to a girl? Because he is just seeing the thin skin covering that is there, which is white complexion. Just remove that skin, what remains?
So,
Muscle and bone and stool and urine and pus and understanding. That's skin. So we are in so much of ignorance. Just because that skin is there, so much attraction is there. So much attraction. Yes. In ignorance. So what Lord does? He removes the ignorance. Then sense gratification is right. Because when the knowledge is given, then we realize. Because see, why we are doing sense gratification? Because we think we are master. So when knowledge is given, we realize I am servant. Then I start serving the Lord.
Prabhu, if something is not in our karma credits, can demigod?
No, not possible.
to-
Not possible.
They are bound.
They can
to
just
give-
postpone, prepone, that's it.
They are bound to give if we worship.
Huh.
But how can they provide?
Okay, like that you're saying. They're bound to give what is there in our karma credits. Okay, another thing. Another thing is, see, when they are doing this yajna and other things, yes. So what happens is they get more punya for that. So that is the, what to say, additional points which they're getting ahead. Yeah, correct. Intelligent question.
बस आई थिंक प्रभु जी अगर आपके कर्म पास्ट में ऐसे नहीं होंगे तो आप वो तपस्या कर ही नहीं पाओगे लाइक दैट इज आल्सो आई थिंक
That is one point, but then still the tapasya part that is there or worship part that is there, Krishna has to give the faith. So we'll do that. Yeah. Pratik, आप क्या बोले?
प्रभु जी मैं बोल रहा था कि आपने बोला जिसकी वर्शिप करेंगे उसी के धाम जाएंगे, ऐसा ये वाला जो श्लोक है। मैंने मतलब पहले की अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि ये जब डिस्टिंक्शन देखा है मटेरियल वर्ल्ड और स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड का चार्ट में, तो उसमें स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड के चार्ट में गणेश जी भी रहते हैं और दुर्गा जी भी रहती हैं, शिव जी भी रहते हैं, जैसे सदाशिव के फॉर्म में।
Only Lord Shiva is there as Sadashiv, and that too I heard Sadashiv in 400 form as Vishnu. Yeah.
400 form Vishnu?
Yeah. So Sadashiv's form there is not with snakes and all that. Okay. He is there in 400 form as Vishnu only. Shankar Chakra Yoda.
Okay. तो उसमें मतलब जो मैंने चार्ट देखा था डिस्टिंक्शन वाला, तो उसमें गणेश जी भी थे और ये लक्ष्मी जी भी हैं अलग से।
लक्ष्मी जी will be there.
हाँ.
Yeah.
और दुर्गा जी भी हैं। और जब
Durga, see, the spiritual potency when she comes to the material world, that is Durga.
Okay.
In spiritual world always she will be in Lakshmi form only. Why she will be Durga?
तो हम लोग जब वर्शिप करेंगे तो वो भी तो मतलब डेमी गॉड के लेवल पे आ गए ना।
हाँ.
तो उनके धाम तो जा ही रहे, तो मोक्ष तो मिल ही रहा है। तो आपने बोला कि मतलब डेमी गॉड्स जो है प्रोवाइड ही नहीं कर सकते हैं मोक्ष।
No, here, therefore this Sadashiva concept, 3 tattvas I mentioned, no? The 4th tattva is called Shambhu tattva. That's confusing, so I didn't put here. I thought I'll tell in 4th level or something like that. Shambhu tattva. Shambhu tattva is like just above the Jiva tattva and below Ishvara tattva. Yes. So yes, he has that bham that is there. But then another thing, very important thing to note is that the worshippers of Lord Shiva were there. If they worship according to the Shastra, that is a Sattva Gun worship. So such people, can, when they are worshipping the Lord with the mood that how he is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, he is topmost Vaishnava, such people can enter Vaikuntha. Always remember, who can enter Vaikuntha? The ones who have attained Krishna prema, ones who have attained love for the Lord. Only such people can enter Vaikuntha. Because Vaikuntha is Lord's place. How can someone else enter with some other person's love? Understanding. So when they attain that love, then they can enter that place. Other than that, it's not possible. The abode is there, but the qualification to enter that is to attain that love, and then we can enter.
नहीं, किसी को वैकुंठ जाना ही नहीं है, किसी को उसी देवी या देवता के उसमें लोग।
In this particular world also we have no Kailash. They will be here only. They will not go to Sadashiv Lok. They will remain here in this Kailash.
जो शिव जी की पूजा कर रहे हैं वो तो शिव जी के धाम जाएंगे ना।
This Kailash, in this place, this world.
तो उसमें लेकिन जब हम लोग स्तुति देखते हैं, शिव जी वाली भी देखते हैं, रुद्राष्टकम देख रहे हैं, और नहीं तो दुर्गा जी की बहुत सारी स्तुति हैं, तो वो भी देख रहे हैं, तो उसमें तो मोक्ष की बातें लिखी रहती हैं। तो मतलब वो उन्हीं के धाम के जाने
See, one of the moksha when it comes to these personalities is firstly they don't aspire to go to their place, dham. You talk to any Shiva devotee or whatever, their goal is that I want to merge in light, to emerge in the formless.
मैं स्तुति की बात कर रहा हूँ
हाँ वही जो मोक्ष जो लिखा है, if that is the case to answer. So one is if they're talking about dham, they can go to dham where this Kailash here. Second, if you're talking about moksha, then the moksha which these people expect and they aspire for is to enter Brahman, enter the light effulgence of the Lord. Okay, so that is possible. They can break the cycle of birth and death, go to Brahman. Now Brahman is just the beginning of the spiritual world. It's not spiritual world also. So it is described, you might go to Brahman, but then there is a great probability of falling down from there to material world. So they cannot enter Vaikuntha without having Krishna prime, without having that love for the Lord, you cannot enter Vaikuntha. And love for the Lord will develop when you worship Him. Simple.
मतलब
ये लॉजिक के साथ I can explain.
इटर्नली देवी या शिव जी को या दुर्गा जी को अगर सर्व करना चाहता है उन्हीं के एसोसिएट के फॉर्म में तो वो नहीं कर सकता.
Spiritual world में they will not have any place, no, as such. According to my little knowledge, they don't have any place in spiritual world. So they are associates here, and it's a position, no, finally. It's not a person, it's a position, and the position is needed in this world for universal administration. So the person is attached to what position? Person.
बट शिव जी वाली और दुर्गा जी वाली ये पोजीशन थोड़ी ना, ये तो
Yeah, that is also position.
नहीं, ये तो इटर्नल.
No, that is also position, but then the same personalities, you know, they take that role. ये मेरा क्वेश्चन था, मैंने एक सिंगर ड्यूटी को पूछा. Fortunately, भगवान की कृपा से मुझे भी ऐसे क्वेश्चन आते थे. So yeah, so it's a position, but then same personalities take that place. That was there. Yeah.
तो ये वाला कब हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे, मतलब स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड वाला चार्ट?
I will discuss. वेट कीजिए उसके.
Also said
पहले तो बेसिक समझ लीजिए आप लोग, उसके बाद स्पिरिचुअल.
मैंने लगता है हायर क्लासेस पहले ही कर ली.